Hi everybody, this is Mr. Folly, and welcome to Podcast 1.2, where we're going to talk about alloys. So we're going to talk about alloy description, which is a mixture, alloy properties, which are a blend of properties, interstitial, which means between, and substitutional, which means, well, substitute. So we will do that. And alloys have been pretty popular in the Marvel universe lately. So adamantium, I believe, is not supposed to be an element. Vibranium, I think, is supposed to be an element. So vibranium was a fail. But I don't remember what Captain America's shield is supposed to be made out of. They keep making more and more and breaking them. An alloy is a mixture of two metals. So there can be surface alloys. Okay, so what a surface alloy is, so galvanization is a layer of zinc on iron so it won't rust. So this is used, I'd say probably everybody has this in their house. So you have a layer of steel or iron, and then iron and steel rust. So what you do is you put a layer of zinc on top of it, usually a very thin layer of zinc, and a very thin layer of zinc, and that also oxidizes, but in a different way. So the green one, when it rusts, it stays hard. So zinc oxide is very hard. Iron oxide, which is this guy right here, is crumbly. And if it's crumbly, whoops, I just misspelled crumbly. If it's crumbly, then it falls off and a new layer is exposed and it crumbles more and it crumbles more and it crumbles more. But both of them will react with that evil oxygen that's out here. I guess it is diatomic. Evil oxygen, and make zinc oxide, but that's hard and it won't crumble away. So that's why I use zinc for it. An alloy can change the chemistry and can change the reactivity. And I put the picture up there, but well, shame on me. Interstitial alloy. A small atom fits in the spaces between a larger metal. Okay, so the effects of this is the density increases. So do you see these little guys that are in here? If they weren't there, the metal would have less mass. Remember, density is mass over volume, right? Rho if you're a mon. But if you put those in there, the mass goes up and the volume is the same. So that means that the density would increase. Okay. The flexibility decreases. Those things like jam up the bendability. So imagine if I took this and I tried to bend it like that. The tighter these things are, the less flexible it would be. Okay? Flexibility and malleability are basically the same property. Ductility is the ability to be turned into wires. I just misspelled turned. Turned, again, into wires. So to turn into wire, you basically have to hammer it in two spots. Okay? So steel has carbon, like this would be a carbon atom, fitting in between the iron atoms. And if you look on the periodic table, the farther you go down on the periodic table, if you remember, draw ourselves a little ghetto periodic table here. These guys are tiny, and these guys down here are huge. Okay? And that's an interstitial alloy. Be able to draw an interstitial alloy or identify an interstitial alloy with this. And if you know inter means between, stitial I'm pretty sure means space, so that means they're going between the spaces. Substitutional alloy, I think you see the word substitute in there, right? So that means you're going to take one out and put a different one in. So these must be similar size atoms that replace or substitutes an atom of roughly the same size. So that means typically next to each other. On the periodic table. So it could be more than one, but that's typically it, not up and down. Okay. Flexibility and conductivity is similar. Brass is an example of this. So copper and zinc make brass, and if you look down your periodic table, let's see, do I have one handy? Copper is number 29. So and draw another ghetto periodic table. Copper is right about here, and zinc is right next to it. So that's why they can substitute like that. Review. That's it. Alloys are a mixture of metals with a blend of properties. You need to be able to draw interstitial alloys, draw substitutional alloys, and predict which element will be which type of alloy. That's it. We're out of here. Toodles. Louisiana Saturday night. Don't. Okay, so maybe I'm not done yet. I'm trying to figure out how to close this. New computer.